welcome to my home. So I just got back from a 3,400 kilometer-ish motocamping trip from Toronto to Gaspé along La Gaspésie, which is the peninsula in Quebec. It was amazing, and today I want to talk about gear. This feels a little unminimalist of me because it's just stuff. But I love watching gear loadout videos and I wanted to do my own. So let's dive into it. First, I wanted to show you guys my bike. This is a new to me 2008 V-Strom 650 that I got this season. I have it up on the center stand right now because I need to clean my chain after the trip and also clean off the army of bugs I single-handedly murdered. I did use the center stand once on the trip to clean the chain, but I have a lot of trouble getting it on and off, to be honest. So I didn't really use it unless I felt it was necessary. In terms of storage, I had the two Jivvy side panniers. I really like that there's a small entry with a combination lock on these. This is the Jivvy top box. It's plenty big. I really like that you need a key to lock the top box. That way you can't lock the key inside of it, which makes it a little bit more Liz-proof. Very appreciated. For food storage, I borrowed this Rally Pack bag on my pillion seat. I don't think they sell them anymore, but he got it off Amazon. It was okay, no complaints. I think I'm gonna replace this with a dry bag that I already own for my next trip. I just need to get straps for it. I had this Mad Dog seat cover that I got off Amazon. It's a mild improvement over the stock seat in my opinion, but I do like the straps. I attached my sandals to these so I didn't have to put my dirty sandals into storage. Up here is my tank bag. It was great for quick access things like my glasses and a water. It's magnetic, but I also have it attached to my bar just in case, and that means that I can fling it out of the way when I'm getting gas and it doesn't fall off. This duct taped monstrosity is my USB phone charger. It's hooked up to my battery and then I run the cable up under my tank bag to my phone on the RAM mount, which I use when it isn't raining. This bike also came with Oxford heated grips, which was a much appreciated luxury on the trip. Also, it had handguards, which did an amazing job, as you can see by the damage. That's it for the bike. Let's move on to all the stuff. My riding pants were from Olympia. I really liked that I could take the bottom zipper all the way up so I could put them on when I already had boots on. I have a Bell helmet. It has a transition lens, which was nice, and I mounted my GoPro up top, but I want to do it on the chin next time. I also brought this Climb Avalon mesh jacket, which I got this season, and it was amazing. I have these kind of on the cheaper end Icon gloves that do well for the summer. And during my trip, I actually picked up some compression gloves because, oof, the V-Strom clutch is kind of stiff, so my wrist needed a little help. When it was windy, I used this Climb windbreaker. It did good. And this was the MVP of the trip. This is my Frog Togs jacket. It kept me dry, it kept me incredibly visible. And this is the liner that came with the Olympia pants. Also used this when it was raining. I had a pair of women's TCX leather boots. These are super comfy and I think they look pretty good, but when they get wet, it takes like 2 days for them to dry out. I brought my swimsuit with me, so at the bottom here is my swimsuit, a pair of shorts, and a microfiber towel from Canadian Tire. Really good. This is a dry bag I got secondhand, and I put most of my clothes in here, just not the big stuff like sweaters. If you are curious about the clothes I brought, I might make a separate video about that, so let me know. For the tent, I didn't bring the actual tent bag. I separated the poles and the stakes, and I had those just at the bottom of one of my panniers, and then I put the tent and rainfly in the compression sack that my sleeping bag came in, and I found that worked way better with the shape. I got this sit pad from Amazon, and I was so excited to use it, but I really didn't. So I don't know if I'll bring this with me next time. We'll see. This down here is my Nemo Tensor insulated wide sleeping pad. I really like this one. It took me a while to get used to inflating it. I also kept a little inflatable pillow from Trekology at the top. And this absolute unit is my sleeping bag. It's so big. It's one of those Canadian Tire sleeping bags, and I have it in a dry bag that I also got secondhand. But oh my goodness, this took up almost a whole pannier on its own, and I'm not bringing a giant sleeping bag on any more motocamping trips. This is my Jetboil. A little bit of a tragic story because I couldn't find any fuel for it. So unfortunately, this was dead weight on this trip. Very sad. That's just a bag of electronics. That's a bag of toiletries. That is the ground sheet for my tent. Originally it came in this little bag and I have no idea how to put it back. Please explain. Okay, getting into the smaller things. This was the rally pack, I mentioned it before. Up there we have my Eddie Bauer backpack. I've had this for most of university. I really like this backpack, but it's a little bit too big because I was shoving it into my top box and I think I damaged it a little bit. So next time I'm either gonna wear that backpack or I'm just gonna somehow bring a smaller one. I brought some extra bungee cords and straps just in case, you know, one of my panniers broke or we were gonna take a ferry or something. Didn't use them, but good to have, I think. I also brought a journal and like 5 pens and I didn't even touch it. I don't know what version of Liz I expected to be on this trip that suddenly wants to write in a journal, but it did not happen and I won't bring it next time. These were the sandals I mentioned strapping to the side of my bike. They're Zero Shoes Z-Trails, super light, super comfy, really good. I brought a glasses case with a second pair of glasses. I ride in one pair and I do everything else in another one. One day maybe I'll get laser eye surgery, but for now we do this. I also brought a hat and a little head torch and some masks because Corona. I borrowed this kickstand puck from my partner who has a Honda and I just put a shoelace through it so that I can actually pick it up. Also brought my wallet, some spare change, some extra earplugs, some license plate fasteners that I forgot to take out, and this was a trowel, never had to use this on the bike trip, and a portable bidet. Also didn't have to use this, but I was really excited to. Fortunately, there were many washrooms that were open. And down there I had an extra carabiner. I usually attach my keys to that. I also had most of my stuff in these 2 black garbage bags. They got pretty ripped up by the end of it and were kind of useless, so next time I might just not use them or I'll use contractor bags. Since I did do this trip with my partner, there were some things that he brought that I used that I didn't have to carry. So that included a first aid kit, which is that big bag on top, some extra zip ties, a multi-tool, some duct tape, a GPS that was waterproof when I didn't want to use my phone, some extra rope, a lock, some tire repair kit, a tire pump, some bug spray. He also brought some chain clean and lube. Okay, so that was all the stuff. But there's a few things that I want to bring next time that I found were missing. One of the things was a first aid kit. So I know my partner had a first aid kit for the both of us, but I really should have my own first aid kit on the bike, to be honest. Number 2 is I need to fix up and beef up my toolkit that's under my seat because it was missing things, which I discovered while we were on the trip. I also think I'm gonna bring my own duct tape because clearly I needed duct tape. Another thing is spare keys. I had this anxiety during the trip that my bike key would break or I'd lose it, or one of my side cases, I'd lose the key and then I wouldn't be able to get to my tent or my sleeping bag. So I think I'm gonna bring spare keys on my next trip, mostly so that I don't feel anxious. On that note, I also would like to have an emergency communicator of some sort, like Spot or a Garmin InReach, just so that in case I don't have signal, I can still communicate with my family back home, kind of let them know that I'm doing okay, and also in case I need actual SOS, type help. I'm also probably gonna get a waterproof phone case just so I could use it in the rain with some confidence. And the last thing that I would like to have on my next trip is definitely a luxury item. I'd love to be able to listen to music while I'm riding, and I'd love to be able to communicate with my partner. So that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that this was useful in some way. And if you go motocamping and you got this far, let me know what's your favorite item to bring. Like, what am I missing out on, All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.